Okay, Bannock County Commissioners are now in session. First item on our agenda is claims, invoices, and Commissioners' reports. On the Commissioners' report, I didn't see any that. Couple of ARPA projects here. Like I say, them grandstands look pretty good.
Yeah, they do.
Dan was going to go down this week and start on the sheep barns in Downey, but I don't think the weather's been cooperating very well.
There's snow in the hills.
Yeah?
What's up with that? We're almost in June.
Mm-hmm. Probably be snow in the hills then too.
You know, it's highly possible in this place. Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the claims as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, looks like that's the last of that part, so we'll go right into charity.
Good morning, Commissioners. Charity Staggs, Southeast Idaho Council of Governments. I'm here to present a contract based on the grant writing proposal I presented a few months ago. My questions are if you'd like this, if you want to make any changes to this. If not, then there's just a few things to fill out to finalize it. Are there any changes to this that you would like to see?
Not that I know of.
I looked through it. And
Yeah, I did see one little edit at the last page that I will certainly get that fixed. Just the date,
Okay.
last
I'll
line, date.
change it from November.
Yeah.
I don't know if this has been through our legal department yet.
Yeah, I did get it through your legal.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. It came back with no concerns.
Okay.
So all the blank or all just
Yeah, the highlighted
dates,
section.
dates.
There's the top date, yeah, it's date, start and end date
Okay.
is a fill out. And if the county would like to designate a contact person, liaison, maybe multiple, or would you prefer CCOG to work with the grant team directly, the departments directly, or both?
And have you looked this over?
Briefly, I haven't had a chance to go through the whole thing, but I think the process should be definitely worked out if you're gonna do that. And I think Clouser had concerns for if this goes through on whatever your effective date would be for budget reasons. So, Jason.
I think in our last discussion, we just talked about making sure that the grants were ran past the grant team.
Correct.
As a group, and so I don't really have any concerns. We had talked about any admin fees will only be paid through grants, not through Bannock County, and that's really the only thing that, but I think just run them through the grant team and just work together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as far as the budget.
Nancy is the point of
Yeah,
contact.
Nancy will be the main point of contact for that, I think. And then, as long as there's no budgetary issues with signing this for this year, then I don't think there will be.
We don't have any
I think
grants.
this is is this fee-based per contract?
It's fee-based, whatever the ask is for the grant. The second page has the fee and billing. It's if there's a grant ask that is.
I know I've been over
yeah.
this, I just can't remember.
Oh.
Are we paying per
grant.
grant?
Per grant, yes.
So there's no ongoing fee unless we actually ask them to do something.
Correct.
Okay, I just needed to have my memory refreshed on
And
that.
other than the wildland fire stuff right now, we don't have any other grants on the docket with you at this point in time, correct?
Not this year, not
Okay.
this year.
So at
This
this point in
fiscal
time,
year.
there is no
Yeah.
commitment. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and, as long as fees are paid out of the grant anyways, then.
Yeah.
And that-
Yeah.
And that's what we talked about before,
Yeah,
and
the-
that's the key right there. If we are able to gain some grants, and it's not costing us extra money out of our budget, why not?
Yeah, and this one, so the OEM contract will go until the rest of the fiscal year. So if you want to hold on and wait until the first of the start of the next fiscal year, that might work out a little bit better. It's up to you, though.
Let me just make sure I'm following this correctly. So if we're going to apply for a $2,000 to $10,000 grant, there's a $500 fee associated with that. Is that just a grant application fee regardless of award? So you would ask Bannock County to pay $500 for that grant application?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So that would be a pre-grant fee that we could be reimbursed if the grant is awarded. If not, then we're just out the $500 or whatever.
Sometimes they don't allow it costs before the grant was awarded to be reimbursed.
Okay.
It depends on the grant.
So, for example, the hazard fuel reduction grants, that would land in the $5,000 fee tier. Be $5,000 to submit that grant, and then if their grant gets awarded and you would like CCOG to administrate that project, the fees for that administration process would come out of the grant funds.
Right, for the administration.
So it is a.
So we need to do a budget during the budget season
Allocation.
for that.
That was kind of how I read it, but.
Okay, well, that's why I was clarifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where it might work out to work with both the departments and the grant team to figure out if, like, if Wes has funds, he could use the Homeland Security funds to pay for submitting that application. And then in my submission of the notify application, like grant notify that form, I can put in there that the fee will get paid through those funds.
So if we were to,
Even when you're working with those department heads, though, they've got to make sure that the funds that they think that they have that are allocated for something like that, they've got to check with auditing to make sure
Sure.
that the funds are okay to use for what they think. 'Cause sometimes they
Sometimes
think
it's
they
not.
have funds that can be used for something that
so
really
what I'm
Understandable.
thinking is I don't have a problem with this, but I hesitate to sign it today until we've gone through budget and can actually allocate some budgetary funds for this process and then make it effective October 1 or whatever, once the budget's been set. Any thoughts?
I don't think there's any problem with signing it because no money's going to go unless we approve something at all.
True.
So I think it's fine to sign the thing and let's start working in that direction. You know, I'm all for grants.
Correct.
And I think we're going to leverage these funds, and I am hopeful that we're going to see significant help through this. So I don't see any problem with signing it. There's no money out of pocket. We do have to get the budget established, but I might, yeah, let's sign it, let's move in that direction.
I like it. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Why don't you make a motion?
I move that we sign the contract as presented.
Okay,
And I'm happy to get you a
My
copy
only-
that's signed by us first if you would like that.
I would, because there's so many blank spots
Absolutely.
on this. And John, I'd just assume that they fill in the dates
So you
and
want to just bring it back?
bring it back, and then we'll
Let's
sign
do
it
that.
then.
Let's fill in the spots, bring it back,
I
and then
just-
we'll move forward.
There's a lot, 4 or 5 spots in there that have blanks,
Yeah,
so
that's
Got the
fine.
date.
I don't ever like signing that. So we want to move forward, but
Would you like me to fill in the start and end dates?
yes.
As proposed?
yes.
And
And
then
visit with Nancy.
visit with Nancy?
With that, and so that you're on the same coordinated team and with them dates, and I feel a lot more comfortable signing it
Sounds
that
good.
way.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with that.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Okay.
All
Thank you so
right,
much.
thank you.
Thanks, Charity.
See ya.
Okay. Next on the list
Good luck.
is Randy Cook and Planning and Development. You want to come on up? And we're excusing Commissioner Moser. He has a,
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you.
what? Board of Health. Oh, Commissioner Moser has a Board of Health meeting, so we're excusing him
Oh,
at this time.
okay.
All right, Randy, you're looking to adjust a boundary line.
Yes, and remove or vacate a emergency access easement.
Okay?
And so I've made the application for the boundary line adjustment and the access, and the vacation. And I've got a conditional approval. One of the conditions was that I had to get approval from the fire department, the ambulance, and the sheriff.
Yeah.
So I've got the ambulance from the City of Pocatello Fire Department. I've got the fire department from the Pocatello Valley.
Or Pocatello Valley.
And the sheriff's department didn't feel like they had the authority to approve that, so they asked me to come talk
Okay.
to you guys.
Okay. And reading through this last night, my only question was, what does it mean to let go of the easement for the fire department? And
So this particular easement is noted on the plat as an emergency access easement. And it connects to another emergency access easement that runs parallel to the back of all of these properties. To be honest, Commissioner, I don't know why this was structured the way that it was. I honestly don't know. I don't know if it was allowing them, when they get to a certain point in the event of an emergency, perhaps a wildland fire in the farm field that's adjacent, et cetera, for them to be able to loop back out. I honestly do not know. And
Okay.
in our research, those decisions were made prior to us. That institutional knowledge has now left. In the study that we've had from a formality, Mr. Cook is here just to request that vacation of that section of
Okay.
that easement.
so staff report is in agreement with what he's asking?
For the most part, yes.
Okay.
When you say for the most part, is there a part you're not in agreement with?
Well, not having the institutional knowledge of understanding why it was placed there in the first place.
So as far as you know, you're in agreement?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a new one to me as well. I had no idea why that would be in there, so.
Well, and the other item relative to this is that you have control over easements over this one in light of the fact that it is noted, it's not a utility easement. If it was
Right.
just a utility easement, Mr. Cook just needs to touch base with the utilities, and if they're willing to vacate, it's basically done. They vacate a utility easement, not us. But because this is specifically stated for emergency access, it had to come before the commission.
Okay. You have any questions, John, or
No,
any thoughts?
I'm good with it.
Okay. Then I would move that we approve the easement vacation as requested. We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. There you go. Thank you for your time. Janda.
Good morning, Commissioners. Shanda Crystal, Chief Procurement Officer with a procurement update for the board. I have been out of the office the beginning 2 days of this week, and so there's not a ton to report, but in light of that, I did want to bring up that the boiler project and the jail HVAC, they were both supposed to go live, one last week, one this week. Because I was out of the office, that didn't happen. So I've touched base with both of those departments, and we'll get those live just as quickly as possible. Lava Ranches, the fuel reduction contract project, had their first mandatory pre-bid meeting on Tuesday. We did have 3 contractors show up, 2 that have done previous work for us and a new one. We have CR Fence, JK Field Services, and the new company is Xterra Excavation out of Rigby. So we're excited for the returning contractors that are interested in this project again, as well as newcomers. And the next mandatory pre-bid is next Tuesday on the 28th. The final one that I want to update is the 6th Street Avenue and entrance. Last week, it was moved that we approve that and award it to CM Company. That has been completed. The contract is to legal for review, and CM Company had their final. They did some value engineering for us to see if there was a couple things that we could do differently on that. Those things have been accepted, and we should have a final number here that we can attach to that contract before it comes before the board next week. If there were any questions?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. All right, the last item on the agenda is the reading and signature on the Idaho Field of Heroes Memorial Day proclamation. So Commissioner Crowder, would you take care of that for us?
Sure thing. Okay, proclamation. Whereas Memorial Day is a time for all citizens to pay a debt of gratitude by remembering to honor the heroes who have fallen in service to our country. And whereas since 2004, the Idaho Field of Heroes Memorial has been a one-of-a-kind tribute to every service member who has died or is still missing in actions since September 11, 2001. And whereas 2024 is the 5th year in which we will honor military canines lost in combat. And whereas this year marks the 20th anniversary of the Idaho Field of Heroes Memorial held at Century High School soccer field with a dramatic visual display of white crosses and stars of David to symbolize each service member. This year there are 7,064 markers signifying the loss of 7,064 lives. And whereas words alone are insufficient to express the depth of our gratitude for the brave men and women of our military and their families who have paid the last greatest measure on the battlefield for the freedom we all cherish. And whereas we can never truly account for the magnitude and impact of silent wounds on our service members, which include the tragic triad of substance abuse, homelessness, and suicidality, we therefore honor the lives of those who continue to bear the burden of battle after returning home and ultimately succumb to the weight of their silent wounds. We honor their lives and sacrifice along with their brothers and sisters in arms who died on the battlefield. And now, therefore, we, the Bannock County Commissioners, Ernie Moser, Jeff Huff, and John Crowder, do hereby proclaim May 24 through May 27, 2024 as Idaho Field of Heroes Memorial Days. We ask all citizens to join us in our pledge to never forget the brave soldiers who defend the freedoms of the United States of America.
Thank you. And it is with honor that I make a motion that we accept that proclamation. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That's it. We will stand adjourned.